Hey guys, this is Joelle from the website FromScratchFarmstead.com, and today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my absolute favorite recipes. So this has been my nightly bedtime snack actually for a while now because I just love it so much. We are going to be making a super simple, super easy granola. Totally honest with you, I never grew up eating cereal of any kind. It just wasn't a thing we did. So the idea of eating cereal and milk is just super weird to me. Like I never got on that bandwagon and did that. And so even now when I make granola, which I love, I never add milk to it. I like to just do my glass of milk on the side with my granola. So that's how I roll. And instead of having it for breakfast, I like to have it before bed. So you can have your granola however you like, with milk, without milk, in the morning, in the evening, whatever floats your boat, but that's how I do it. So this granola is really easy. I love it because it just has 6 really simple basic ingredients, and the other reason I love it, and this is kind of actually how I stumbled into making this granola, is because it uses egg whites. And so we make ice cream a lot. We have our favorite homemade vanilla ice cream that we make usually about once a week, and so I'm always looking for ways to use up the extra egg whites from making ice cream. And so this recipe uses up about 4 egg whites, and so it's a perfect way I can use those leftover egg whites from ice cream that I otherwise usually am trying to figure out what to do with. And so it's just 6 basic ingredients. All you need is your oats, cinnamon, egg whites, brown sugar, coconut oil, and salt. And you can feel free to doctor this recipe up any way you want. You can add coconut flakes, you can add nuts or dried fruit or whatever you want, but honestly, I really just like keeping it simple, keeping it basic, and using these basic ingredients. So for oats, you're gonna wanna use some sort of rolled oat. Now my favorite are these 1-degree sprouted rolled oats, and so they're already sprouted, they're easily digestible, they're gluten-free, and you can get these in bulk at Costco. These are our favorite, these are my go-to, this is what we always get for our oats. And so you're gonna do, and then I think all the other ingredients, I like to get my coconut oil and my brown sugar, the organic kind, at Costco as well, actually. This is a really easy recipe. All we're gonna do is we're gonna put our dry ingredients in a bowl, and so that's gonna be our oats, our cinnamon, our brown sugar, and our salt. And so we're gonna put those in a big bowl. It's 4 cups of oats. And again, nothing about this recipe needs to be like super exact. It's pretty forgiving and flexible as long as you get the main idea. So it's 4 cups of your rolled oats. Okay, and then you're gonna mix those with, I say 1 to 2 tablespoons of cinnamon because we like it pretty cinnamony, but if you aren't such a big fan, you might want to go on the less side, but I like to go kind of heavy on the cinnamon, closer to 2 tablespoons, but feel free to go less. And then it's going to be just a ½ teaspoon of salt. And a ½ cup of brown sugar. You can also use honey or maple syrup for this. I have found though that the brown sugar really gives it that nice, really like crunchy texture, and so I just prefer to do brown sugar. You can also use coconut sugar, that would work really well as well. And so you're gonna mix up your dry ingredients together. All right, and then once you have that, you're gonna actually whip your egg whites. So you don't need to whip these like all the way to like meringue, stiff peak sort of texture. You just want to get them whipped. So just incorporate more air until you start seeing some foamy bubbles. It doesn't need to be anything too crazy, but I have just found by whipping the egg whites and getting some air in there, it just helps improve the texture of your granola for some reason. So I like to just give them a quick whip. It's also helpful to take the egg whites out of the fridge like an hour if you can, think of it, before whipping them. It just makes it easier to do it. If they're real cold, it's harder to whip. And also the fresher the egg whites are, the easier it is. So just some tips there. All right, so once your egg whites are pretty whipped, this is 4 egg whites that I'm using. You're gonna pour those in. right, and then our last ingredient that we are gonna add here is our melted coconut oil. So this is 1/3 of a cup of melted coconut oil. You can also use butter for this. I'm gonna use coconut oil. And that is it. Then you're gonna stir up everything. All right, and then once everything is mixed up, you're just gonna pour it out on your baking sheet. I like to use these kind of jelly roll pans with a silicone baking mat in there just so it doesn't stick. Alright, and then you'll want to spread it out so it's as thin of a layer as you can just so it bakes better. And then that's it, and then you're gonna pop it in your oven to cook. Now this is where it can vary a little bit depending on your oven and what you have going on. So what I like to do is, so the big thing with granola is you wanna make sure it is completely cooked and crunchy, so it has that really nice crunch to it, but that it's not burned. And so I like to put it in about 300-degree oven for like 30 minutes. And then what I usually do is bump the oven temperature down to like 200 just to have it finish cooking. So usually at 300, that'll get it a good amount of the way there, but it won't be totally done yet. It won't be totally crunchy. It'll still be a little bit soft. So then I bump the oven down to 200 and let that cook the rest of the way. And it can kind of depend on just how thick your layer is here, what kind of pan you use. And so I would just say at that point, check it regularly and check it till you make sure that it's totally crunchy and not soft at all, and just cooked through all the way. So sometimes I have to turn it down and it'll be on that 200 oven for like an hour. Sometimes it's like 10 minutes. So there's kind of some variability there depending on your oven and how thick your layer is, but the big things that you're looking for are to make sure that your granola is cooked all the way, and then it will be delicious and good to go. And so that is how you make a super, super simple, but yet the most delicious granola ever. So go make yourself some, enjoy a nightly bowl with your glass of milk on the side, or however you like to do it. And thanks so much for stopping by the farmstead today, and we'll see you in the next video.